Greetings, fellow noobs, and welcome to another NuubCast. Here we have on the Delta Quadrant again. I think we just do a game on here. I think we did. This one is a TvT. This is Bloom spawning as the red Terran. And this is meow 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 spawning as the blue Terran here in the bottom left. Now this is Bloom, but Bloom is not this person's real account, apparently. I can't remember what his real name is. He told me what it was in the email, but I read that probably a week ago. But anyway, there's a little bit of backstory behind this game. Not this particular game, but Bloom, this account, and what is happening in this match. Some of you frequent reddit.com r/StarCraft. If you do not frequent r/StarCraft, I recommend that you do frequent r/StarCraft. Lots of good discussion, tons of meme. I don't know how people say that. M-E-M-E. Some people say memes. Some people call it memings. But what I mean is, like, you know, pictures and like fan art and things like that get posted up there, and just discussion threads, and it's a pretty good format, pretty cool people most of the time. There are the occasional trolls, but not too bad. And it's a little bit maybe less stuffy than is that a good way to put it? I don't know, maybe a little bit more relaxed environment than on Team Liquid, where pretty much any post you make on Liquid could get erased for little to no reason. Actually, they always have good reason, but many may not agree with their reasoning. Orbital command going down for Bloom. Anyway, there's been a ton of threads on r/StarCraft saying get to Diamond using just macro. And there was so much discussion. Is this possible? No. Bronze has gotten a lot harder. There's so much cheese in bronze and silver level. So, you know, it's actually not. You do need to have some micro, just arguments back and forth. Can I get to Diamond just by having good macro and basically moving? And so that is one of the main arguments. And a few players have come out and granted, they're Diamond players who already have established the fact that they have good macro, and so what they have done, what this player Bloom is doing, or has done, or is currently in the midst of doing, at least by the time at the time he sent me this replay, was he started a new account, lost all of his placement matches, got put in bronze. And is now working his way up through the ranks by doing nothing but macroing hard, which means getting saturated. As you can see, he's doing a very decent job of using his mules when necessary, constantly building units out of his production facilities. Now, and that's what we mean by macro. Macro isn't just collecting resources. It's making sure that you have constant SCV production, constant Marine or Marauder production out of your barracks, constant tank production, whatever facilities you have up in your base are constantly being used all the time. And then, and meow 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 getting, looking like he's going to be doing a tank build, getting his first tanks out already, and his siege tank up yet? Not quite yet. But Marauder's coming out for Bloom, and what Bloom has said is he is going to do Marine Marauder builds and nothing else, and he's going to do very little micro, mostly just moving. I think he does. I think he does some micro in this with his units, only to break a tank lot. Why am I saying that? Shut up, spoiler face. We'll see if he does any micro in this matchup. But I'm showing this to you for the sake of, you know, making you aware of what's happening out there, what the tests that people are doing, and to once again reinforce what I am constantly reinforcing in this game. And almost every matchup I show you, the guy with better macro. Seriously, if you're not paying attention, the guy with better macro wins 9 out of 10 games. And if I needed to, I could label every single game that I cast on this channel as macro wins. Stargirl number 15, Jinro versus Tyler, better macro wins. Not probably wouldn't be the case because they're both macro machines. We do have tanks moving out. So we see Stim going down for Bloom, Marines constantly coming out, command center being thrown down at the natural, and let's see, he sees Bloom's army out there, gonna siege up. Does he have the vision? They're just in range? I guess just out of range, because it looks like this guy is right there. Oh, very nice job. Gonna lift up the barracks for vision. Let's see, not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. And let's see, where's the vision? There's the vision. Boom! Boom! But just one tank has the vision available. But oh no, I don't know if this is a good idea. Bloom running out here to face these tanks and just getting mowed down. He did a move that time, that's for sure. Let's see now. Meow 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 going to come up here to do a tank contain. And let's see, just out of range of the orbital command, but he is going to lift it off anyway and get it out of dodge. Can't say I blame him for that. That is what you call good thinking, because you don't want to give away 400 resources like that. But we do have concussive shell down for Bloom, more Marauders, more Marines coming out. Saturation doing very well. Got a bunch of mules on the way, and here is the tank line in range of the barracks now. So we're going to have to see some work, I think, from these Marauders, perhaps with some stim. We get another couple of Marauders out. We're going to need them. Yep, here they come. And what is Meow 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 doing in his base? Getting his command center out, getting good production from his factories, getting a couple Vikings out now for vision, but nothing coming out of the barracks. He does have he is floating some minerals, so he probably could. Oh, and here comes the SCVs out to tank damage. Marauder's going to take out these tanks. No stim, but no stim necessary, and now the SCVs can get back to mining if Bloom so chooses. A little bit of micro there from Bloom, but it's really unavoidable. Anybody would have needed to do that to break that tank line, no matter what level you play. You would have had to focus fire those tanks. So good on. So I'm not going to penalize Bloom for doing that. We do still have the floating racks out here. We have a couple of Vikings coming in. Perhaps they'll land over here and try and do some damage economically to Bloom. But again, constant production. And, maybe he's got more than 2 in a queue at the time, but whatever. If you're floating resources, go for it. These Vikings going to die very quickly. How are we doing? How many SCVs did he lose in that skirmish outside with the tanks? Wow, not really that many, or at least he's at least making them still. So yep, he's making them and sending them to his expansion over here, which is flooded with mules. Very good job. And this Marine sitting out here in the natural of Meow Meow Meow, waiting to see if he lands out there. But this orbital command down here could be getting some resources if he wanted to make some SCVs. But once again, basically Meow 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 hardly making any SCVs there. He did just throw a couple into the queue, and now this guy is making some as well. So something jarred him back into his macro mode. And we do see a little bit of lapse from one of these. Oh, is he food blocked? Yep, Bloom is food blocked. Okay, so now you're seeing a macro fail here, but just for just a moment. He does the supply call in, and now we are back to macroing it up pretty hard style. We've got now 4 racks in the field. I'm wondering if there's nothing coming out of here because he's waiting to put an add-on, and there it goes. The tech lab goes down for the 4th racks, and a 5th rack's on the way. Vikings coming out to scout and see what's going on here in Bloom's base. Gonna land and once again try and do some damage, try and take out some of the gas mining SCVs. Those are always good SCVs to go after, because oftentimes what will happen is the player will forget to put guys back into gas, and he'll be trying to make units and he won't have gas for them units, and be like, oh, what the heck's going on? But now he has put 3 guys over in this gas where he wasn't mining previously. So even if he does forget, which actually he's actually removed the guy who was left in there mining gas and put him on the other side. So still only mining from 1 refinery, though the other is there, and he does have 3 guys in this refinery as well, and he looks like he just threw them in there. So now he doesn't have to worry about harass on this gas. Alright, what else is happening? We have the long distance mining going on here for Meow Meow Meow. He's got all these tanks here, not sure why he doesn't just use them to pop these rocks real quick. No reason why they can't. Looks like he's going to be doing a Hellion drop. Do we have Blue Flame? We do. Blue Flame is intact, but look, this is what happens when you macro, guys. Things like this happen when you just straight macro, and now he can seriously move this army, and this tank line, it doesn't even matter. He can walk in, move, because there's no units here to keep them from walking up the ramp, and even if the first half of these guys die to those tanks, the second half will clean up. Guaranteed. Look at this. This is ludicrous. Alright, there's the stem. Oh, but they're bunching. He should run in, at least. And now they do have Blue Flame Hellions, but it doesn't matter. Tank's already gone, and all Marauders left, just a few Marines, but it doesn't matter. With the stem, these guys are going to completely ransack this base, and it's not even going to be close. And look at this. We've been looking over there for 30 seconds, and meow meow meow. Make 10 racks, move, and win. And basically, pretty much, if you're Terran, I highly recommend getting really good at macro and doing something like this, because very hard to beat no matter what you do, no matter what race. Obviously, if Terran picks up on it and makes a bunch of Colossi, you might struggle a little bit. But even that, with the minimal amount of micro, you will dominate. But fact of the matter is, you have to have good macro. And if you're trying this and it's not working, then there's only one thing to be said about it, is your macro isn't good enough. So go practice your macro. And if you figure out how to do that, give me a holler, because I need to practice my macro. Keep climbing that ladder. Peace.